Hi everybody, it's Claire here with another art journal video in real time. This will get back to normal once I get back from Australia, but I guess, I don't know, some of you might quite like these longer videos. So I'm going to do a collage page with some collage soup images. I kind of like this one, so I'm going to go with this girl, but my thinking here is, I was going to work on that page, but I don't want her face right, so I'm going to put her face down here. So I'm going to cut her out. So often when I start these kind of journal pages, I have an idea of where I want to go with it, but I don't always know for sure what I'm going to actually do. So you're going to see that in real time, I guess. So I'm just kind of roughly cutting this out. I'm not quite sure whether this is going to be a single page or a double page spread, I don't know. I always keep the bits that I have left over. I think I need to cut that bit out of there because that's too much blue and we don't want that showing. Cut down here. I mean, that kind of works there. I think this might end up being a double page spread, actually. So I'm going to disappear the hoops, but keep these feathers. I quite like those. And then go up the hairline. And here like that. I think it needs to have that kind of funky, that needs to be showing. Yeah, so I like that, that works. So that's my starting place. There we go, that's better, sorry about that. So she's going to be in that corner. We need something up here. Stairs. I have quite a few collage soup books now. I think it might, I've got an idea. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. And I often think that, will it work? I don't know. But there's usually a way to make it work. And if it doesn't, well then there's lessons to be learned through it not working. And then you're like, well, why? So what was wrong with it? What didn't work? And sometimes as well, you end up discovering new things that did work. And you're like, ooh, never thought about trying that. So, what I'm thinking is, I'm going to gather up some of my scraps. And I'm going to collage them onto the page. Or shall I get a piece of... I'm going to get a piece of graphics. So this is the graphics double tack. Now it has two sides on it. It's basically adhesive on two sides of the film. Get that out. So if you peel off one of these bits, it will leave an adhesive side showing, and then obviously on the back as well That means I can then go through my books and use up some bits that are left sort of hanging around, like parts of this. So I can create a collage sheet. Using pieces that are left over that maybe would not get used otherwise. I mean, I quite like those, are nice bold colours. Maybe stick it that way. Kind of nice funky feathery bits, which I also like. Oops. I can simply collage these pieces on, and then when I've done, I can come back and stick down any bits that are overlapping. You see, I end up with lots of sort of odds and ends of collage pieces that I don't like to throw away. And really all I'm doing is kind of creating, people call them, some people call them like collage boards. I have heard them called other things, and for the life of me I can't remember what it is, but it's a great way of using up scraps and creating a new piece of collage material that you can then cut up and use again in a different way. So this is starting to take shape. I love those colours on there. In fact, I think I want to use some of that orange. It's really pretty. And I know I'm going to have to trim down the edges and everything, but that's okay. Right, let's pop those away. I'm liking how this is coming together. And of course I could even like stencil over this and add extra details on. There's some nice colours here as well. Ooh, purple. Pinks, I've already got plenty of that. Might be some pieces in here that have been left over. Let's see. Could do with some really colourful bits. Maybe not that one, but we can come back to that. Now, I know there are some pieces in here because I was using this one the other day. So for me at the minute, I'm really enjoying kind of mixing up my styles of art journaling and kind of mixing up between, you know, like the styles for Dina Wakley and art by Marlene. And then, of course, like playing with all these collage soup. And I think it's great to find different ways that you enjoy working and just mixing it up and trying different things, because that's how it all stays kind of fresh and interesting and doesn't become at all boring. Any of these where there's like images, I don't want to tear into those images and use those because they'd be really nice. So just making sure that I've covered most of the sticky places on this paper. I can still see a few, but I think I'm nearly there. I love that bus, isn't it brilliant? I'm going to have to use that for something. Definitely. Let's have a look. Oh, I know there's some lovely coloured pieces in this one. This is the house that Kay built. So I'm just basically just patching now, really. Anywhere where I can see there's a little gap that I've missed. It's looking quite colourful, isn't it? And this works because it's the technique of making something big and then cutting it down smaller. And you'll find that when it works in smaller pieces, it works really, really well. So what I might do, I think what might work really well is just to pull some black stenciling over this. Just need to stick that flappy bit down there, look. That's got nothing to stick to. Mostly the rest of it's okay. Grab one of these little painty boards. A bit of black. And then I think I might use this Tim Holtz stencil. I very rarely use these. I always forget I've got these Tim Holtz ones. I don't know what this one's called. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry. But I'm sure if you had a look through anywhere that sells Tim Holtz supplies, you'd be able to find this one fairly easily. And there are so many stencils out there that have got circles on. So just get yourself on the internet and have a little look around. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's give that a quick plug my heat tool in. Okay, now I don't think I can tear this up because of the adhesive on it. No, I can't. No, definitely not. I am just going to cut this into different size pieces. I don't really know where I'm going with this, if I'm honest. Guess we'll find out, won't we, in a minute. And then when I peel the backing off, I've then got a piece of collage fodder that doesn't need any glue, which I love. Oh yes. And I've got some more sticky there, but I can maybe, can I sort that with some of these little pieces here? Okay. can overlap them as well. I have no clue where this is going right now. I'm just playing. Simply playing. I mean, if I'd stuck all these pieces of collage paper onto a piece of paper using glue, I would have probably still been sticking. Whereas now I can get straight in and just have a bit of a play. And like I say, I don't know where this is going yet. I have no idea. But I'm sure it'll come together. And if it doesn't, does it really matter? I don't think it does, because it's about having a play. Seeing what things might do, how they might behave, how can you pull a page together. It's just fun getting there, whether it works or not. So the hardest bit for me with my nails is pulling the backing off the paper. Tempted to put that over there, but I don't really know why I want to put it there, but oh, come on, stop being naughty. Let's try over here. There we go. Now, so I'm just making sure there are no places where there are any bits that are sticky that are going to actually stick my pages together. So I don't want to spend all this time doing lots of fun art journaling to have my pages fastened together. That would be a little bit annoying. So there are some places where I can feel little sticky patches. So I'm just going in and sticking some. I think the rest of it, there's just one there. You can hear it, can't you? What I might just do is stick one of these over the top. Yeah, like that. And there's one along here. one on that's got another sticky bit showing. That would be quite funny. Okay, so, right, this is proper crazy now. Don't know where this is going. This is a little bit like how my brain feels at the minute. Full of stuff. Okay, so let's put that on there. There we go. Right. Hello. So I'm just sticking down any bits that look like they've not attached properly. Okay, so put some of these bits in the bin. Bless me. Okay, so now I need to try and make this all a little bit more cohesive, because at the minute it's not. So what I'm going to do is pull some of these circles down onto the black. Now you might be thinking black on black, that's a little bit strange. It will show up a little bit, and that might be enough to just pull these areas together enough so that it makes a bit more sense. So I'm just looking to create that kind of continuity between my page and the pieces that I've just added on. And like, because I'm doing this and I kind of don't really know where I'm going with it, I literally am making it up as I go along. I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, okay, how do I join this and this together? Yeah, okay, I quite like that. So let's put that there. I might come back to that in a minute. Another way that I can soften edges is using stamping. I am really tempted to go in with bold paint brush stroke letters. Maybe even a spray can. I know where I'm going with this now. Okay, so I want to get some writing on here. I think this is going to be not a great deal more complex than what I've done already. I'm going to pop some writing on. The thing now is, do I go white paint and a brush? I think I might do. Thinking out loud. And then I think I want some splats of colour on here. I want this to feel chaotic and busy. That's a bit big. So I want to kind of go for that graffiti style. So I'm just going to write my letters really bold on here. I picked up some black there, but that's all right. She knew. I think I might need a small brush. I might just use one of these ones, maybe that one. She knew it would. Let me just go over these ones. I'm also going to outline these letters so that it just makes them stand out a bit more. I kind of want this writing to get smaller and smaller as it goes down the page. She knew it would be okay. But what it felt like. A lot. So, let me have a look at that. Yeah, I mean, that's bonkers. Oh dear. I like it though, but it's a bit crazy. I want some of these letters to be a bit bolder. I'm just going to go over these again, and then I'll get my heat tool on it, get it nice and dry. I think we need to then outline these letters maybe in black. Need to take an antihistamine, I think. I hate pesky hay fever. Okay, Okay, let me get my heat tool on that. One of the things I love about this journal is the freedom to express things in any way that you want. You know, with this being like a collage journal, I'm not looking for realism. In fact, if anything, it's meant to be quirky and a little bit odd. It's just another way that I find I can express myself and have fun with the weird and the wonderful, not having to worry about, does this look like anything in particular? And mean that I can also empty my head of things that might be on my mind or might be going on. That's also a good thing, because my art journal is, at the end of the day, for me. So I just want to get this paint a little bit drier. This almost feels like a graffiti wall, which is kind of what I wanted to achieve. It just shows that even on those times where you don't really know where you're going with something, you can still come up with something pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just going to make This is a paint pen from Artex, a RRTX. I found these on Amazon. They are really nice pens for this kind of, they're not expensive. So if I trash it by being impatient, it doesn't matter. By that I mean, if I am too impatient to wait for my paint to dry properly, it doesn't matter, because it wasn't mega expensive. And I like the fact that it's got a brush tip end and a fine tip end as well. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of not really taking a great deal of care with these letters. I think I might swap to the fine tip now. I kind of want it to feel that quick, rushed graffiti style. I mean, some graffiti artists are amazingly talented. But yeah, this has ended up being like this, and that's okay. So sometimes when I start a journal page, I've seen an image and it's given me an idea, and sometimes not. And this was one of those moments where I didn't know what I wanted to do, but this kind of grew out of that. So what I think would be really nice now is to add some kind of splats on here. And I am really tempted to like painty mess splats. Okay, let me find another gloss that I can use. Maybe some fluoros would work nicely. Yes, maybe those. These have got pipettes in actually already. So these are Dina Wakley glosses. As you can hear, they've got a ball in them to shake up. I am so bad at getting these open. There we go. Okay, I'll just pick up a little bit, and it's almost got a bit of a punk feel, hasn't it, this? And then what I'll do is I won't dry this with my heat tool, I'll just leave it out to air dry. So the feeling of these messy splots is kind of this thing of it, whatever it is that's on her mind is feeling like a lot. It's that, this reflects that thing really, these blobs. As always, I'm trying to think about whether my page is balanced and I'm going to write some words on her face. So I'm just tapping the lid just to loosen the pressure, and also where it's got a bit sticky and kind of sealed shut, it just releases that a bit. You can also just drop it out like that. Ooh, I might do that with the other colours too. And this has turned into a really fun page. Okay, so I'm just going to write some words on her face here, which is shall I write it in the glasses? Let's do that. Self-belief. For those of you who know me well, might know what this is about. Give me assured, I'm okay. I'm all good. Anyway, that is way out of my normal style. I really like it. I've enjoyed that. I've kind of made a mess. I've gone with the flow. This is what I would kind of, for me, call that kind of intuitive art where I've definitely been led by what was in my head. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this crazy page come together. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.